A conflict is when two or more parties clash with each other and one party tries to kind of undermine the other because they are interested perhaps in the same thing. If you imagine a situation where humans are one party and the wildlife around them is the other party, wildlife and humans are interested in perhaps the same thing. Both are aware of each other's goals and one is trying to undermine the other. And as you can see, this framing itself is very inappropriate, because what it is assuming is that wild species around us are actually aware of our goals and they are trying to undermine us. Whereas actually they are just going about their day-to-day business, which often or sometimes can result in what we describe as human-wildlife conflict. On the one hand, you might view a wild species like, let's say, a snow leopard or a wolf. You might view it as a pest and you might want to eliminate it. But at the same time, you might be viewing them as a source of great courage or strength or inspiration. In the same way, people's relationships with their domesticated animals is very complex. As a conservationist, it's just a number for me, right? I would say, oh, this family lost 25 goats, or the other family lost one sub-adult yak to a snow leopard. But to that family or that owner, it's more than a number. Of course, there is the economic loss and the opportunity cost of losing a yak. Think of the woman who looked after the female yak and helped her deliver the calf. Think about how day in and day out she protected that calf as if it were one of her own children and made sure that the calf was growing up. Now, ultimately, this woman or that family might decide to sell that calf or slaughter it or whatever it might be. But the fact is that there is still a very deep emotional connect with that animal, because it's been brought up in that family. And when that sub-adult yak, for example, gets killed by a snow leopard, it's a very strong sense of violation and emotional loss too. While a certain level of loss, in this case of livestock, might be acceptable to that woman or that family, we should not forget that there is also a deep emotional connect. Whether it is a wild species like a snow leopard or a wolf that could be at the same time be viewed as a pest to be gotten rid of, and on the other hand being a source of inspiration and a symbol of courage and strength and so on. Same with livestock. People could be viewing it as their resource, or they could be looking at it as a financial economic asset. But at the same time, there is an emotional connect with that animal as well. So it's important to keep in mind that human-animal relationships can be very complex.